Mr. Chairman, based on your conversations regarding the reprogramming decision yesterday, I would actually ask that the letter, date stamped March 25th, from the acting secretary transferring $1 billion out of the Army's account to the Department of Homeland Security be entered for the record. Thank you. And I would just note that transmittal actually pretty much almost exactly coincided with the submission to Congress of unfunded priorities from the Pentagon in terms of the, again, 2020 budget. Mr. Norquist, could you tell us what is the total amount of unfunded priorities that came over from the Pentagon?
I don't have the total yet from all of the services, sir. Okay,
well, I can help you with that. It actually was $10.4 billion, and actually $2.3 billion came from the Army. Mm-hmm. So, I would just say you almost get whiplash around here trying to sort of follow the back and forth coming out of the department. I mean, exactly at the same time that a reprogramming decision was made, again, without consultation from Congress, which, again, as far as I'm concerned, is a Rubicon moment in terms of just the comedy between the two branches that's operated for decades. We're also hearing from the Army that they actually, by the way, need an additional $2.3 billion for the 2020 budget for unfunded priorities. And it just, again, really undermines the confidence in terms of just the messages that are coming over to us, from the Department of Defense, which again are really now in a brave new world of basically treating the defense committees as non-existent in terms of reprogramming decisions. Again, just to follow up on Mr. Whitman's questions for a moment, General Dunford, Admiral Richardson and the Navy are actually working on an updated force structure assessment for the shipbuilding plan. Isn't that correct?
It is correct, Congressman.
Do you know what's going to be in that FSA regarding the carrier fleet?
I don't know what's going to be in the FSA.
And as much as we are trying on Sea Power to find out the answer to those kinds of questions, we don't know either. And it just seems to me really premature for the department to again, come forward with a decommissioning or mothballing of the Truman when we still don't even really know what the revised force structure assessment looks like. As my friend from Virginia pointed out, we've already got about $500 million in sunk costs for the reactors, which according to the Navy are going to be, quote, put on a shelf, which again is a shelf that we really can't reach up for the new Ford class program. It's a different kind of reactor. So the savings that you're projecting in the 2020 budget, it's $17 million for this year. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, it's $17 million.
Okay, so we're dealing with a decision which is premature in terms of being out of sequence with the Navy's updated force structure assessment. We have $500 million in sunk costs that are already out the door, and we're going to save $17 million with this request in the 2020 budget. Again, that really doesn't add up to a very good business case in terms of the very tough decisions that we're going to have to make. As the chairman points out, the figure, the top line number that came over is decoupled from a deal on the spending caps. I think it's a pretty safe bet that the top line for defense is going to come down when the two chambers actually do what should have been done over the last 3 months, which was to negotiate a sequestration agreement with the administration. They, as far as I'm concerned, completely abdicated what everybody realizes must happen if we're going to move forward with the budget. And so we've got difficult budget choices to make ahead. And being left with a business case that just, again, doesn't help us with getting to that point is just going to be a very tough sell, let's just say, over at the Sea Power Committee. I don't know how the clock is doing here, but...
You got about 30 seconds left.
Okay.
There's one clock over here that's working. They all shut down.
Mr. Shanahan, again, just real quick for the record, your budget endorses planned procurement of 3 Virginia-class submarines in this year's budget. Is that correct? Yes or no?
That is correct.
Yep. Thank you. I yield back.